It started a few months ago. My friend Maya kept telling me I needed to get out more. She said I spent too much time at home, working, eating alone, scrolling through my phone. She wasn't wrong. My social life was almost non-existent. So one Friday night, she invited me to hang out with her main group of friends. She'd deep been part of that group for years and always said they were a chill mix, smart, funny, no drama. I was nervous but said yes. I remember spending half an hour deciding what to wear, wanting to look good, but not like I was trying too hard. When I finally got to the bar downtown, it was loud but cozy, warm lights, good music. Maya waved me over to a big booth where her friends were sitting. There were about 7 of them, a mix of guys and girls. She did the introductions. One girl whose name I didn't catch, and 4 guys, Liam, Chris, David, and Ethan. David was the loud one, telling some ridiculous story that made everyone laugh. Chris was quiet, more observant. And then there was Liam, sitting at the end of the booth, scrolling on his phone until Maya said my name. When he looked up and smiled, it was the kind of smile that made you feel seen. He wasn't movie star handsome, just normal, clean-cut, warm eyes. We started talking, and it felt surprisingly easy. It wasn't one of those awkward, forced conversations. We joked about new movies, TV shows, random things from work. He was an engineer, and I told him about my job as a barista. He asked funny, thoughtful questions, not like someone just waiting to talk about himself. At one point, I noticed Chris watching us. Not in a weird way, more like he was silently approving. It was like he was quietly rooting for Liam. That night, the group felt welcoming. For the first time in a long time, I actually felt like I belonged somewhere. When it was time to leave, Liam asked for my number. He said he really enjoyed talking and wanted to see me again. My stomach flipped in the best way. On the ride home, Maya wouldn't stop grinning. She said she'd always thought Liam and I would click. She told me he was a good guy, smart, stable, and apparently kind of picky. The next morning, I woke up to a text from him. "Hope you got home safe. Had a great time last night." It was simple, but it made my whole morning better. We started texting a lot. It became part of my day. His good morning texts, little jokes, random check-ins, everything felt light and easy. He asked me out for a movie the following Friday. I told Maya, and she was excited for me. Liam felt different from other guys, confident but kind, interested but not pushy. I hadn't felt that kind of spark in a long time. Before our date, there was another group hangout, a game night at Chris's place. Maya said Liam wanted me to come. I went, and it was relaxed. Some people played a board game, others just talked. Liam greeted me with a light hug, handed me a drink, and stayed close most of the night. It was comfortable, like we already knew each other. Then, something changed. David was telling a story about his job, complaining about his new manager. He said she called his project proposal aggressively masculine, and everyone laughed. Without really thinking, I joined in the conversation. I said, well, maybe she had a point. A lot of workplace culture still reinforces certain behaviors that can feel dismissive to women. The room went quiet, not silent, just heavy. I thought I was making a thoughtful point. I went on to explain that what some men see as efficiency can come across as exclusionary, especially in male-dominated spaces. And then I said it. As a feminist, I can tell you that corporate language often hides patriarchal patterns. That one word, feminist, seemed to freeze the air. David just stared at me blankly. Liam's smile disappeared. Not angry, just gone. His face went neutral, eyes distant. I glanced across the room and saw Chris give Liam a quick look, and Liam shook his head slightly. In 2 seconds, they both turned away. Then Chris jumped in and changed the subject completely. Did you guys see the game last night? Everyone followed his lead. Just like that, my comment disappeared into thin air. For the rest of the night, things fell off. When I tried to join in other conversations, the responses were short. Polite but distant, Liam especially, he turned slightly away from me, gave one-word answers. The warmth from earlier was gone. I left early, pretending I wasn't feeling well. That night, I kept replaying the moment in my head. What had I done wrong? I wasn't attacking anyone. I was just sharing an opinion. Liam didn't text that night. Or the next morning, for the first time since we met, there was silence. I finally texted him asking if we were still on for the movie Friday. He replied hours later, "Hey, feeling a bit under the weather, rain check?" I knew what that meant. I said, "Hope you feel better. Let me know when you're free." He read it, never replied. Days passed nothing. He was active online, posting stories, looking fine. My stomach dropped when I saw a new photo, the group at a bowling alley. Everyone was there, Maya, Chris, David, and Liam, everyone except me. That's when it hit me. They'd shut me out. I've been quietly pushed out of the group. It wasn't about me saying something rude or personal. It was that one word, feminist, that label suddenly defined me in their eyes. I felt humiliated and angry. Were they really that fragile? Did they only want girls who smiled and nodded and never challenged anything? For days, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Then came the guilt. The second guessing, I hated that a small part of me wished I had just stayed quiet. Why should I have to censor myself to be accepted? Weeks later, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I called Maya. She sounded surprised but told me to come over. When I got there, I confronted her. I told her how hurt I was, how Liam had completely ghosted me, and how everyone acted like I didn't exist. "It's because I said I'm a feminist, right?" I asked. She went silent for a long moment, then sighed. "Yes," she said softly, "but not for the reason you think." She told me they weren't scared of me being strong or opinionated. It wasn't that they hated women. It was that they associated the word feminist with conflict, with endless correction, with never being enough. "To you, it means equality," she said. "To them, it means confrontation." She looked me right in the eyes. They're tired. They work hard, deal with their own problems, and they don't want to feel like dating someone means entering a debate every night. They want peace. Her words hurt because deep down I knew there was truth in them. I thought about my past relationships, all the arguments, all the times I corrected or lectured, thinking I was teaching something. Maybe I was just exhausting them. Maya said, "You didn't show them you showed them a label." Liam didn't meet Ramona the girl. He met Ramona the ideology. He wants a partner, not a project. That line hit me like a brick. Partner, not project. She said, "They didn't reject you because they hate women. They stepped away because they value their peace." When I got home that night, I sat in the dark, thinking. I realized she was right. I built my identity around being right, being outspoken, fighting everything unfair. But I had stopped listening, stopped being human. Liam didn't ghost me because he was weak. He did it because he saw the future, constant tension, constant battles, and he chose peace. And maybe that's not weakness. Maybe that's wisdom. I scrolled through my photos, through old posts full of quotes and slogans. It hit me how my entire online world revolved around proving a point. That label had become my armor. But it had also become my cage. I wanted love, stability, connection, but I was pushing it away without even realizing it. That night, I whispered to myself something I'd never said before. I don't have to prove I'm right to be worth loving. Maybe that's what feminism is supposed to lead to. Not walls, but understanding. Not fighting everyone, but learning balance.